can see, we've been getting on a bit, doing a bit of track laying, but we came to a grinding halt about a week ago, because as you know, what we're doing is we're laying the track in Pico Code 100 flexible track, and we were short of a piece of track stuff, and we had to wait for it to be delivered because we had to marry up the two bits of track that joined into it, and it's difficult with flexible track. If you don't have the track there, you can't preempt these things. So it's always better to sort of have the bits ready as you go along, in order to make sure that they fit, rather than like set track, which if you follow the instructions, of course, it always fits, doesn't it? So what were we waiting for? Well, it came. Yeah, Harry?
Yep, got it.
That is a double slip. Now, I've not used one before. It's a bit like a crossover coupled with 4 points, all in one piece kit. And the reason why I haven't actually used one before, if I hold it up against this paper like that, you'll see. The reason why I haven't used one before is because they're damn expensive. So I've always got around it in a slightly different way. Okay. Now this piece of kit, it's a bit like, as I said, it's a crossover. So we have the other piece I needed, of course, was a crossover. So that is basically a crossover up against a double slip. Okay. Crossover is on your right, a double slip is on your left. So it's a sophisticated one of those. That's about the same price as a point. This is about 3 times the price of a point. That's why I haven't used one before. What it allows you to do, this is a double, okay? They're available in double and single. This is an inshore frog, SL90. Okay, code 100, universal, streamlined. Right, your train can come in here. It can obviously go straight over like it would as if it were a diamond crossing, but also it can go off in this direction as well. So it has 2 ways of getting out. Same as if it's coming in from here, it can either go straight over or off to the right, depending upon which way these are set, and exactly the same from this end as well. So you can come in and go off any way you like. Alright, that's the double. With a single, what you do is from one entrance you get the option exactly the same as the double. So in other words, when you come in here, you can either go off here or you can either go off here. If you enter from the other side, you don't get the option. Single only allows you the access to the 2 roads from one side. If you're coming in from the other side, it's just a straight over crossover. So all you can do is go straight over. Okay. So we'll be adding that into the track. You'll see where it goes when I've finished. Well, after I've added it, basically. And then we'll carry on laying. Now what we're doing is we're laying it on cork. I think I mentioned it before. What I did was I bought a big sheet of cork, or a couple of big sheets of cork, I can't remember, and I cut it up into strips. Okay, now for double O, which is what I'm using, these strips are, what's that, 1.5 inches wide. Okay, so it allows you the sleepers plus a bit. Okay, so when the track fits on there, straight bit of track, it fits on the cork, and you've got a shoulder each side of the sleepers just to allow the ballast to fall. Okay, so hopefully that's what will happen. Now this isn't fixed down, I don't fix this down. What I do is I pin the track down, and I pin the track down through the cork. And believe it or not, this cork, although it's straight here, it can go around corners. It's amazing. If you keep it flat on the surface and you're going round a bend with it, you just have to make certain that it's pressed down and fed around, pinned down of course through the track, and you can go round corners with it. So there's no need to buy or to make bendy bits, I have found. Works for me. So it will follow a bend. Oh, as can be shown here. That was a straight bit to begin with. I used it on a previous track, which obviously still retained some of its bend. And it's flat as well. So, what else did we get? What else did we get? We got the crossovers, of course, crossover and slip, double slip. We got a right hand, a left hand point, or medium radius, and then we got a large radius curved left hand. So that, I reckoned, would be all that we would need for the finishing off the track that we need, that we've designed. I've got lots of other points, so just a case of shuffling them around and see what fits where, really. In addition, as the carriage was the same cost up to a certain weight, I bought flexible field fencing from Pico's. So we got a couple of boxes of those. They weren't expensive. I normally don't buy that kind of thing. Normally make it probably matchsticks or something like that. But for the fields, for the fences, because it wasn't expensive, went for that. Track fixing pins, of course. Rail joiners, new rail joiners, of course. Plus, indulged with a coach. Quite like those. It's like, can't remember what they call those now. What do they call them, hey? No. It's an Airfix anyway, second hand. It'll come to me. Ding. Brain comes and goes. Alright, so we've got that lot to be going on with, and we'll carry on. We also had a delivery of some other bits, which I'll just quickly show you. Right, we got a delivery of Chinese toilet brushes, which are meant to be trees. Well, I suppose that looks a bit like a tree, doesn't it? Looks a bit small to me. It's coming apart already. Chinese, lovely, lovely. That compared with some that I made earlier. These ones are like twisted wire ones, autumnal twisted wire ones. We'll go through and show you how to do those if you like those. or you can order those from China. Apparently you can make them look a bit better if you want to. I don't know, I think I'll just put them far enough away so you don't see them. Yeah, okay. For the price, I suppose, if you're going to make hundreds of the blooming things, quite like trees. So anyway, we've got some of those. Oh, we've got some flowery ones as well. And some different size ones, so there's a mixture there. They came during the week, but more exciting was that. You can see it, little switch there, little knob here. Alright, that is a 9 to 24 volt, so I can feed it with 12, okay, DC motor controller. So as you can see, the one that I've got at the moment is just about to give up the ghost, an old one, and I was going to have to buy, as we've got 3 tracks here, going to have to buy at least a 3-track, maybe a 4-track controller, and you're talking 160, 170 pound for that. So I saw on the internet these little things, which are DC motor controllers. Apparently they don't control the motor by varying the voltage, they do it by some other means. Don't ask me, I'm not an electronics man. But for £4 I thought I'd give it a go. So you just take the knob off and sit that inside a box of some sort, obviously. Okay. 12 volt. Oh, you can see which is in and which is out. I've got my glasses on. This is in, out. Okay, so you've got a little 2 inlets, 2 outlets here. If you turn it over, you can see which is the plus, which is the minus. Just about. Okay. So that is fixed in with this little nut thing there. That pokes out through the front, and hopefully you'll be able to control your train with that. And for £4 I could buy 4 of those, couldn't I? For 16 quid. All I need is a transformer, obviously, because it doesn't come with a transformer. So I can use the transformer off this because it's got a constant output 12 volt, which I can use. I have some other old controllers, some Hornby ones with 12 volt constant 12 volt outputs, which is what this needs the constant input. So we can wire that up, wire it up to the circuit. As I said to you earlier, we're making droppers, we're making more droppers to go down throughout, and I have got my little diesel engine on just to test the track as I go along, because I quite like to do that. A bit of a bugbear if you manage to do all your track and one bit doesn't work properly, so we test the track as we go along with that little engine or anything else which I managed to find. Also, the other thing that we have to be aware of is that we make certain we have room for the buildings that we're going to put on here. We are going to put on some engine sheds, so we want to make certain that the track fits into the engine sheds. Okay, so it's a case of making the engine shed beforehand, or measuring it very, very, very carefully. I'll probably make it before I put the 4 tracks down. As I did this, can you see that one, Harry? The station there. That will be an island platform. We are in the middle of building the kit for the island platform buildings, which will go onto here. But I built that before I laid this track this side, so that I knew the distance between the tracks. I wanted a station that wide, platform that wide, so I did it that wide. Then I laid the track, rather than the other way around. It's easier. So we've got a number of buildings which I want to incorporate. We have the canal, obviously, as I already showed you. As I said, we'll have the engine sheds. We'll have canal bridges. We'll have the lock keeper's cottage. We'll have water tower. That needs to go in. Coaling yard. We're going to have a coaling yard, so we need to build that. And it's a case of making certain that we've got room on the crossing keeper's cottage. Signal boxes. We want to make absolutely certain we've got room on the layout as we put it down to incorporate the buildings that we want to include. It's no good having put the track down only to find out you haven't got room to put your whatever it is, signal box, crossing keeper's cottage. You've built it, you want to use it, you like it, but you haven't got room for it. So as I go along, I make absolutely certain that my layout fits the board, fits the buildings that I'm going to put on it. Everything has to come together at the same time. I've learnt that through different mistakes that I've made, obviously. You just put the layout out and then hope for the best, and it never works out. So what have we got left to do? Quite a bit of track laying. I can get on with that now I've got the bits. The road, which is going along here with the half relief terraced houses. I've got 2 lots of terraced houses made to date. So we're talking probably about, what we're talking there, probably about 40, 28 inches worth. 28 inches worth, so how many do we need? We need another 2 sets of 2 sets of cottages, so that's another 6, another 12 cottages, 12 individual, terrace houses rather. They've got to be built, and then the road, etc. But in doing that, I want to make certain that I'm fitting a canal in as well, because that's going to go in. That's my brain hurts. My brain hurts, sorry. So anyway, there's lots of other stuff. I'm sure we'll get around to. Anyway, I shall. That's just a quick update. Well, it's meant to be quick. It's not all that quick, was it? Sorry about that. If you've nodded off, then catch me up on the next one. All right, I'll see you. See you soon. Next update. Bye. Just a little bit on the end. Thank you for those people who are subscribing. I don't ask you to subscribe. Subscribe. I don't ask you to. It's if you want to, it's entirely up to you, isn't it? Plus, I don't know what you're subscribing for anyway. Whether you're subscribing for the model railway, in which case I hope you like my model railway, or whether you're subscribing to watch Jacob and Bertie. In which case, thank you from Bertie, and thank you from Jacob. So anyway, enjoy. See you there. Bye.